Chapter 19 Vicious Infighting. Such a vast Yushan Hall, such a magnificent grand palace truly shook Fang Han's soul like never before. As one of the 10 righteous immortal sects, how profound Yuhua sect's Tao arts were was still unclear to him, only a vague concept existed in his mind. But now he truly felt Yuhua sect's power for the first time. What was true power? It was not moving mountains and filling seas. It was clothing, food, housing, and daily travel. Let's find a place to sit down. Princess Hami called to Fang Han. The two walked into Yushan Hall, found an empty seat and sat down. This empty table was square, extremely long and wide, neither stone nor wood, with an antique charm. It was hollow-carved with all kinds of patterns, and a faint refreshing fragrance struck the nose. Sea-bound Agala. Fang Han started in his heart. This large dining table was actually made of the precious wood. In the Fang mansion, only a handful of direct-line patriarchs could afford furniture made of sea-bound Agala, yet the entire Yushan Hall was filled with this wood, as if it were no more valuable than ordinary dirt. The table was as large as a governor's banquet table, several zhang long and wide. What drew particular attention was that beside the table there was a large crystal pool, with spring water flowing endlessly inside, fish swimming freely in it. The bottom of the pool was deep and dim, like a bottomless abyss. No one knew where it led. On the table stood a white jade lottery tube, filled with all kinds of paper talisman lots. What would you like to eat? Princess Hami drew a paper talisman lot, glanced at it, then tossed the paper talisman into the crystal pool. Immediately a small fish darted over and carried the talisman away in its mouth. Soon after, a water lily bud the size of a wash basin rose up from the bottom of the crystal pool. Princess Hami plucked the water lily, placed it on the table, tore the bud open petal by petal. 4 dishes and 1 soup immediately appeared inside, along with a bowl of rice that was crystalline as jade, dazzling like diamonds, still steaming hot after rising from the water. Wrapped deep inside the water lily, it had not gotten wet at all, instead absorbed the fragrance and moisture of the lily, leaving one feeling refreshed all over and ravenous with appetite. Throw the food god talisman into the crystal pool for whatever you want to eat. After a while a water lily will naturally float up, and your meal is inside the lily. Princess Hami tapped her chopsticks. The chopsticks were also made of jade, exquisite and translucent, green and glistening with dew, making one want to take a bite just looking at them. How magical! Fang Han followed her example, drew a food god talisman and tossed it into the crystal pool. Sure enough, a small fish took it in its mouth and swam down. After about the time it takes to burn half an incense stick, a large water lily floated up just the same. He plucked the lily, tore open the petals, and an exquisitely prepared meal appeared before him just as expected. Fang Han took 1 bite, and the fragrance lingered on his teeth and tongue. He could not help but wolf down the food, clearing all the dishes and rice in no time, and only then felt fully satisfied. Yuhua sect's recipes are an immortal legacy, the best for nurturing health. Especially after being cooked by the 5-chi immortal pot, that Tao treasure, all vital energy is retained while impurities are burned away, so it never harms the stomach and intestines. This is no trivial thing. That is why even becoming an outer disciple of Yuhua sect is the dream of countless noble children. But you are also a noble son, can't you at least have some manners? Princess Hami watched Fang Han wolf down his food, and smiled as bright as a flower. What noble son am I? Just a nobody, I only got lucky by chance. Fang Han mumbled, his mouth still full of food. I finally found you. Just at that moment, a man walked over hurriedly. It was none other than little Marquis of Zhenyuan, Lu Kang. He sat down at the edge of the table. Have you eaten yet? Fang Han greeted him. I have eaten. I came looking for you too because I got a piece of news. I need to discuss it with you. Lu Kang waved his hand, then looked around, and whispered, I got news that the Blue Moon Kingdom in the Great Hanhai Desert was recently attacked by several powerful bands of sand bandits, and suffered heavy casualties. The Queen of Blue Moon Kingdom has already sent a request for help to Yuhua sect, and it is very likely the sect will send us there to help wipe out the Sand Bandits. Sand Bandits, are they that powerful? Princess Hongyi asked confusedly. Blue Moon Kingdom has strong national power. Though its population cannot compare to the Great Dynasties, it still has 10 million people. It produces sky blue sand steel, has excellent weapons. The Blue Blood Horse is an unparalleled strong steed. Everyone in the country values martial arts, and experts emerge one after another. It has always been Sand Bandits that flee at the sight of them. This intelligence is true. I asked several inner disciples of Yuhua sect, and also got news from my father. Among those Sand Bandits, there are subterranean devils mixed in. What is more, it seems there are also heretic Taoists and disciples of the demonic sect secretly pulling the strings behind the scenes. Lu Kang lowered his voice even more. The rumor goes that the heretic Taoists and demonic men covet Blue Moon Kingdom's beauties, fine horses, minerals, wealth, all kinds of treasures, and even several profound gold veins. So they incited several large sand bandit gangs, even provided them with magic tools. They want to destroy the entire kingdom. That is why they alerted our Yuhua sect. It is rumored that the elders of Yuhua sect have already ordered some true disciples to set out, and will also select some outer disciples to go there for training. If you kill those high cultivation sand bandit leaders and the subterranean devil general leaders, bring back their heads, you can get the qualification to participate in the inner sect disciple assessment. What? Qualification to participate in the inner sect disciple assessment? Princess Hongyi's eyes lit up. For an outer disciple to advance to inner sect, you must first obtain the qualification for assessment before you can take part. It was just like how for an ordinary person to become an outer disciple, defeating the divine power puppet alone was not enough. You had to get the assessment qualification first. If Fang Han had not gotten the written recommendation from Xianxia, even if he had cultivated to the 10th level of divine transformation, he would never have had the chance to become an outer disciple of Yuhua sect and enjoy this godlike life he had now. That is right, qualification for the inner sect assessment. Lu Kang said, this is no trivial matter, because inside the sky blue sand mine of Blue Moon Kingdom, there are several profound gold veins, which is the perfect place to cultivate Great Freedom Profound Gold Sword Chi, one of the 8 great divine abilities of Yuhua sect. If the demonic sect takes it over, it will be a huge blow to our sect, so the elders attach great importance to this, and have opened up 365 spots this time. There are many bands of sand bandits in the Great Hanhai Desert, hundreds of thousands of people. This is no different than a war between 2 states, nothing to take lightly. The combined strength of the 3 of us is still not enough. I am afraid we need to find a few more partners. Our strength is indeed a little weak. That is why I found a powerful group. We can leverage their power. Lu Kang pointed to a direction in the distance. Fang Han also looked over. In the distance, he saw several pairs of handsome young men and women sitting at their seats, calm and composed, as if they were sitting on the throne of the imperial palace. Their bearing and dignity revealed a profound, unfathomable strength. Who are these people? Imperial grandsons and princesses of the Great Li Dynasty. Princess Hongyi said. Exactly, royal disciples of the Great Li Dynasty. To win the spots for inner sect assessment, we can only ally with them. You know, the royal disciples of the Great Li Dynasty will definitely not let us take the spots easily. Lu Kang said in a low voice. So that is how it is. The struggles between royal families and aristocratic clans have even extended into the immortal path. After hearing all this, Fang Han already got a clear picture. For example, Lu Kang was the son of the Marquis of Jinyuan. If he became an inner disciple, the Marquis of Jinyuan would rise in status along with him and check the power of the Great Li Dynasty's royal family. Just like the Fang clan now, because of Fang Xingshua's relationship, they did not even pay much attention to imperial edicts. Yuhua sect accepted tribute from 3 great dynasties, Great Li Dynasty, Great Li Dynasty, and Great Su Dynasty, along with countless smaller states. Every year, Yuhua sect allocated a certain number of outer disciple spots to these dynasties, and in return these dynasties offered tribute of treasures, land veins, and even incense offerings. For example, the Agala wood for Yushan Hall's tables was tributed by the Great Su dynasty by the sea every year. The fine top-grade steel used to forge demon-slaying swords was tributed by the Great Li Dynasty. Just like what Fang Han saw in Longyuan City, there were numerous temples dedicated to Yuhua sect. During New Year and festivals, countless wealthy families, nobles, and people of all trades would go to burn incense and pray for blessing. Though Yuhua sect was an immortal cultivation sect, its ties with dynasties, aristocratic clans, the mortal world, and the entire realm were extremely close. There was no insurmountable barrier between immortals and mortals. Hundreds of thousands of outer disciples represented the power struggles between the various dynasties, clans, and nobles out in the mortal world, and these struggles were no trivial matter. It was inevitable that vendettas and feuds would emerge one after another. Fang Han gradually came to a clear understanding. Becoming an outer disciple did not mean he could live a comfortable, peaceful life like an immortal. More cruel intrigues and infighting were still waiting ahead. Let us go discuss this with them. Lu Kang suggested that. All right. Fang Han and Princess Hongyi stood up at the same time and walked towards the table over there. At the table over there sat 3 men and 2 women, all exuding that graceful, lofty supreme royal bearing, arrogant and domineering, tolerating no defiance. When they saw Fang Han, Lu Kang, and Princess Hongyi walking over, they did not invite the 3 to sit. One of the young men just said lightly, "Lu Kang, these are the helpers you brought? I am afraid they are just here to drag us down, aren't they?" Hearing these words, Fang Han felt extremely uncomfortable in his heart. "Why do you say we are here to drag you down?" Princess Hongyi was not angry, but her tone turned a little cold. "Princess Hongyi, your sword skills are excellent, and you have many tricky secret moves. Besides, I have long heard that you have a high-grade magic tool, the Gale Talisman, on you. Cooperating with us, you are not a drag, we do have use for you. I am talking about the man next to you." A royal woman spoke, her gaze turning to Fang Han. "This man is from some small clan, right? We need experts. Where did this guy crawl out of? Does he also want to get an intersect assessment spot relying on us? Even if he got it, he would fail the assessment anyway, just wasting a spot for nothing." "What did you say?" Fang Han licked his lips.